The first Sonic game I ever played was Sonic Mania. I know, I was late to the party, but holy wow! Was I glad that I finally bit the bullet and played a Sonic game. I had always thought that people were overhyping how good Sonic actually was back in the day, but as soon as I played Mania, I understood what they were talking about. The levels are masterfully crafted and seamlessly transition from Act 1 into their respective Act 2 zones, with each level having amazing theming. You go from the lush greenery of Green Hill Zone to the industrial factory-esque chemical plant, and the levels just get better and more complex, with both acts in every zone having their own music, with Act 1 being more reserved and chill before going in with Act 2. I mean, just listen to Metallic Madness Act 2. Holy shit, I'm about to be bumping this at all my birthday parties, man. God damn! So when I saw the gameplay footage for Sonic Frontiers, I just knew I had to talk about it. The general reaction to Frontiers has been pretty awful, to say the least. With people saying it looks like it was made in Unity, ooh, it looks like a fan game, ooh. And honestly, people have been absolutely roasting this game like we're putting Sonic over a little Spitfire trying to make him into a hedgehog pot roast, just spinning him slowly. And all in all, I have to agree with the criticisms here. We're talking about a game made by Sega, you know, the dudes that actually came up with the character in the first place. And when we think about who made Sonic Mania, who was pretty much an indie dev that was a Sonic fan that got to help develop an actual Sonic game, it makes it all even more sad for Sonic fans.
So, I mean, I originally was a massive Sonic fan back when I was a little boy, Mega Drive era. At the time, I wanted to learn how to make games, and so I was basically combined the two and started making my own Sonic games. Years later, mobile games started coming out, and then I started to think, I know how to make Sonic games. Why don't I approach Sega and make games on mobile?
If Christian Whitehead could deliver a bangin'-ass Sonic game with some top-tier soundtracks, why can't Sega? First of all, let's just talk about the music choice within this premiere. Why am I listening to classical music while I'm playing a Sonic game? This isn't Breath of the Wild as much as this game wants to be that. I want to be running around at the speed of sound, not being calmed by tranquil music as I run around this bland, empty world. That's another thing. Another problem that I see here is that there's no concrete art direction. I know I'm about to compare a 2D game to a 3D one here, but listen, it's the only Sonic game I've played that I have for reference. I'll get around to Sonic Adventures one of these days, okay? The levels within Mania have a concrete art direction in mind with every zone, every act. Every platform makes sense within the context of the environment of the zone that you're in. Mario Odyssey is another great example of this if we want to use a 3D comparison. Meanwhile, this doesn't ring true at all for Sonic Frontiers. There's random boxes placed around the area with no rhyme or reason, random metallic platforms that are just suspended in midair that literally look like they were taken straight out of the Unity asset store. The areas for wall running look especially out of place. I think this is a huge reason as to why this game just looks so off. Not to mention the pop-in, but I'll try to give them the benefit of the doubt with the technical issues right now. I understand that it's a bit tougher to accomplish what Mania did within a 3D setting, especially with how open this game seems to be. With Sonic Mania, there's only so much level that you have to deal with, and Sonic's only going in two directions, so it makes it much easier for the developers to make each and every level feel full and wildly different from one another when there are only 13 zones throughout the entire game, which, don't get me wrong, is still a lot, but it's nothing compared to what Sonic Frontiers seems to want to accomplish. Again though, the problem with this approach is that you end up with this vast expanse full of absolutely nothing. I definitely hope they end up improving on this aspect of the game, as I think it would help solve a lot of the problems fans are seeing with Frontiers at a glance. Because if I'm being honest, the gameplay itself actually doesn't look that bad. It looks like it could be some good fun. The way Sonic builds up momentum does make it feel like you're going fast, and the controls at least seem to feel fluid and snappy. The way Sonic can zip around the environment, roll into enemies, transition from rail to rail, all seems very reminiscent of 3D Sonic games that have been well received by fans in the past. Obviously, there are some adjustments that need to be made, especially with the sound effects. Those definitely need some major work. But if they can just fine-tune the smaller details here, I think they'd have some solid gameplay on their hands. Again, what really needs the most attention here is the environment. You have random blue torches sitting there in the middle of nowhere so that Sonic can draw some circles around them? Why? Have these torches sitting within a castle that you have to traverse up with Sonic's abilities in a medieval-looking area of the expanse, much like zones are in Mania. Don't have them just sitting there in the open world. Then you see a bunch of rails in the sky looking like a bunch of spaghetti noodles just suspended with nothing, just straight up in the air floating. Listen, I could go on and on, but really I think the biggest problem with this premiere gameplay trailer wasn't the gameplay, but more so the environment that the gameplay takes place within. Take a look at this level from Sonic Adventure 2's Green Hill Zone made 3D. This is pretty much what they need to do with Sonic Frontiers. Just establish levels like these in a more open-world setting, kinda like how Bowser's Fury did for Mario. This level looks like a ton of fun to play, and I think more of what fans are looking for when it comes to an open-world Sonic game. And I mean, what about City Escape? The rail placement here makes sense. You wall run up buildings instead of whatever this is. The music is an absolute bop, and the more skillful you are at the level, the better you'll be able to zip through it. Isn't that what Sonic is all about? You can tell a lot of care was put into questions like, where do we place these ramps, the speed boosts, the bouncy pads? Hell, a truck chases you down this road while Sonic runs for his freaking life! How cool is that? Again, every set piece here makes sense within the context of the level that you're in, and I gotta say, this level looks a million times better than anything I've seen in Sonic Frontiers. Now, before we finish this video up, let's take a look at the combat trailer that just recently got released. Now, I think we can all agree that this at least looks much better than what we were shown just the other day with Traversal. Combat looks flashy and the hits look satisfying, but yeah, it is a bit rough around the edges. I do like the variety of movesets here within the combat though. You got your punches and kicks, but then Sonic can also zoom around and do some sort of dive kick for massive damage. That shit looks pretty cool. The only thing I don't really understand is it seems like Sonic keeps getting hit, and even when he didn't collect any rings, they just keep popping out of him endlessly. Did they change it so that hits only take a fraction of your total ring count? I have no idea. Hopefully they just turned damage off so they could show off how the combat worked, but who knows. The variety of enemy types here does look promising as well. You got your bubbly machine-looking enemy, an enemy you can't attack right off the bat, so you can already see there will be different approaches to combat. And they even showcase a boss-type-like enemy where you've got to run up his arm to go up top and deal damage. Honestly, this is more of what I'm looking for from Sonic Frontiers. But for God's sakes, can we please fix the music, man? Here, I'll put a Mania track over this gameplay, and I bet it'll look 10 times better for it. Listen, Sega, fix the music, polish the combat a bit more, and make the enemies more aggressive towards Sonic. And really work on the exploration and environment aspect, and this game could be a massive success. Work on those things, and again, the music, for God's sakes, and you may have the next Sonic Mania on your hands. With that, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, or Sonic Frontiers is going to be the next Sonic Forces. I'm sorry, guys.